everyone, it's Spencer Hawes here with NichePursuits.com, and I'm excited to record another podcast episode with you. Today I'm going to be talking about Niche Site Project 4 and the monthly income report for April 2019. What happened in April with my site was epic. I knew that April was going to be a good month because I could see the traffic trending up throughout the entire month. However, I was not expecting the site to earn as much as it did or the traffic to increase as much as it did. Long story short, the site went from earning $128.41 to $565.44 in April, from March to April. I was not expecting the earnings to more than quadruple. So today I'm going to share exactly how the site made its money and why things have really started to take off. The best part, the traffic continues to trend up, especially from Google, in the early part of May. And I expect that things will continue to grow all around. Let's go ahead and jump into the monthly report. All right, so I already broke the big news. In total, my Niche Site Project 4 site earned $565.44 in April. That is a record month by far, and I love the trend line of the graph. If you could see it, it is shooting directly up exponentially. So where did the earnings come from? Well, $494 and some change came from the Amazon Associates program and about $71 from Ezoic display ads. So as you can see, if you could see the graph of my Amazon earnings, I had a few really big days. There was many days that had earnings, but there was 3 or 4 really big earners. This happened because someone bought a really expensive item on those days. I sold a $1,700 item on one day, which was really nice. Now, I can't expect that to happen all of the time, but when it does, it's great. And a little sneak peek into May, I actually sold a $1,900 item just about 2 days ago. So May is looking amazing. However, you can still see, or I'm going to tell you, that most of the days of the month, people were ordering items on my website. So the small days, we're still close to $10 in earnings each for Amazon. Now, Ezoic earnings, I earned about $70.89. Overall, it was good. It was a nice increase from the previous month of $39. I am looking at different options. I'm seeing if I can optimize the Ezoic ads better. And a little inside scoop that I haven't shared on my blog, I actually got in touch, or somebody from Ezoic got in touch with me. They're going to see if they can optimize my ads a little bit better so I can earn more. If that does not happen, then I'm looking forward to moving over to Mediavine. Mediavine Ads is an ad server, an ad network that I've used in the past and done very well with. So we'll see how that goes. I will keep you posted. So I'm extremely happy about the earnings of the website. In case you can't tell, it really is a big relief to know that, hey, the public niche site project is starting to take off. It's showing very positive signs. And hopefully people like you that are listening and following along are starting to get some value out of that and maybe going back and listening or reading the blog post that I wrote previously about how I built this whole thing up. But I do want to dive into the costs. Last month, I wrote an extremely in-depth blog post about all the costs associated with the Niche Site Project 4. Now, I'm outsourcing nearly every aspect of the project, so my costs are higher than they would be if I did everything myself. So I included an updated P&L that includes all my costs for the month of April when I wrote my most recent blog post. So you'll have to go over to the blog if you want to read the April 2019 report. You can see the line-by-line item of the expenses there. But overall, I spent about $1,700 on the site during April for a total loss of about $1,100. And in total, I've spent about $15,000 on the site since inception. Now, I do have a plan in place to eliminate some of the Pinterest expenses, so I'll let you know how that goes if it happens next month. And however, my investment in content is clearly working, so I plan to continue investing in more content, and will be likely spending about $1,000 to $2,000 a month on the site for the next year or more. The idea is that in the next few months, the site will start making more than I spend, obviously. That is the ideal. So in April 2019, I published a total of 13 articles on the site. And in total, there are 120 live articles on the site. Traffic. So where does the traffic come from? Well, I can now say that it's mostly coming from Google. In previous months, most of the traffic was from Pinterest. However, the traffic from Google has really started to pick up, and Pinterest has still increased, but not as quickly as the traffic from Google has increased. So my total traffic, about 11,000 sessions for the month. I just cracked about 10,000 users and 11,000 sessions, which is a really nice milestone. And then the total traffic since inception is just a nice hockey stick growth, really excellent there. And then Google organic traffic has essentially doubled during the month of April. In fact, to make the trend even easier to think about, the Google organic traffic in total did just shy of 6,000 total organic visitors during the month. And a couple of months ago, I was well under 1,000. So it's increased exponentially. Pinterest traffic. So the Pinterest traffic has done really nice since the inception of the site. It's still growing, but not as quickly as the Google traffic. In total, the site had roughly 4,000 sessions from Pinterest and almost 6,000 sessions from Google. I do expect that gap to continue to grow as the traffic from Google increases at a more rapid pace. I built the site primarily to perform well with Google organic sources, so I'm happy to see that things are starting to pay off. In general, my site is starting to rank higher for my targeted keywords. A few months ago, I wasn't ranking in the top 10 of Google for any of my targeted keywords. Now I'm ranking on the first page of Google for a couple of dozen of my targeted keywords, and of course, lots of other long-tail keywords and variations as well. I believe that this mostly has to just do with age. And it's nice when I pull up my Longtail Pro where I check my rankings each day, and I can now see a couple of dozen different keywords that I'm targeting ranking, between 2 and 10. They're on the first page of Google. Content. Last month, I published, as I mentioned, 13 articles on the site, and I'm really not happy with that. I would like to be publishing closer to 20 to 30 articles a month. So I've asked my writers to increase their output a bit, and I believe that May should be a higher production month. My site is doing well, and Google appears to be liking the content I'm putting out, so I see no reason to increase the content production over the next several months and maybe permanently. The more articles I write, the more keywords I can target and potential traffic I can capture from Google. So every single article targets a different keyword or set of keywords, so they each have the potential to help the site grow and make more money. All right, link building. Now, I did not do very much link building in April. I got one guest post from my own outreach efforts, which really means I had my employee do the outreach, the writing, etc. And then the Hoth. I do want to give an update there. I also finally got the links that I ordered through the Hoth in March. They were added in April. So in total, I ordered 3 guest post links through the Hoth, and it took a bit longer than expected to get the links. But I guess that's just because they do actual outreach to find the opportunities. So I'm fine with that waiting period. With those 3 links from the Hoth, I went from ranking number 14 for my chosen keyword to as high as number 5 after the links, and now I've settled back down to rank number 8 for that particular keyword. And the traffic overall has grown quite a bit to that particular page after using the Hoth for links. The traffic increases partly due to ranking better for my exact targeted keyword, but also due to ranking better for lots of little long tail keywords that I wasn't specifically targeting. Now, when I ordered the links, I asked for them on sites with a domain authority of 30 or more. The 3 links that I got were on sites with a domain authority of 43, 58, and 62. So they definitely delivered there. If you're interested in getting links from the Hoth, you can go to nichepursuits.com/thehoth. Again, that's nichepursuits.com/thehoth. And that is my affiliate link as a thank you. So new plans for link building. Overall, my site is growing and the authority of the site is growing as well. My plan is to do a couple of more link building campaigns over the next couple of months. And then honestly, I might just chill a bit with new links. That all depends on how well my site is performing, of course. Most of my content is ranking without any links, meaning I haven't built links to the specific pages for most of my content. In fact, the large majority of my articles ranking on the first page of Google don't have any links pointing to them. And if they do have links, they were links that just happened on their own without my involvement. So is link building needed beyond what I've already done and a couple more campaigns? Probably not, unless I try to target more difficult keywords. But here's my steps of my planned link building campaign. Step 1, I plan to create an epic piece of content based on original research and surveys. I plan to create an original survey and get hundreds of responses from real people using Facebook ads if needed to get enough responses to make the data relevant. Step 2, I'm going to find websites that are covering similar types of content in my niche or other relevant niches using Ahrefs or Scrapebox, and this will likely be several thousand websites. 3, I'm going to use tools like Hunter.io to automatically find the email addresses of all those websites. Step 4, I'm going to use tools like Mailshake to automate the outreach emails and responses as much as possible to find interested websites and linking to my content. Then step 5, additionally, I'm going to reach out to some targeted contacts and journalists from larger publications depending on how interesting the data is from the surveys I collect. This is the process that SEOs have used for years other than step 1. Yes, most people do try to create an epic piece of content. However, my plan is to do some actual original research, survey people, put together beautiful charts and graphs, and make the content quite unique. It's a lot more work. However, if I can put together an interesting study related to my niche, it's something that I believe people would be happy to share and link to. A big part of my plan is to make the survey niche relevant, but also potentially humorous in certain circumstances and timely with current events. Then I open up the potential for sites beyond those just in my niche to get a link from, but larger news outlets and other blogs that can cover more current events as well. I won't go into any more detail because at this point, I haven't done anything. This is my rough plan right now, and I'll share more details when I actually have done something and have seen some results. Email list. I've been collecting emails for a couple of months now. Beyond just a welcome email, though, I haven't done a single thing with it. I'm a little embarrassed. But my goal for May is to build out a longer autoresponder series that drives subscribers back to my site. I'd like to have 30 plus emails that drip out over 90 days. Right now, my email list has 118 subscribers. So what's next? As a recap of what my plans are next for the site, it's basically more of the same. I'm going to continue publishing lots of content on the site. 20 to 30 articles a month would be good. I'm going to continue growing the Pinterest traffic. I'm going to try 1 or 2 more unique link building campaigns over the next couple of months. Then I'm going to build out a longer email autoresponder series. And then I'm going to potentially make the switch to Mediavine ads if Ezoic ads does not start earning more. Overall, I'm super happy with the progress of the site and I expect even better things to come. I really do. The traffic in early May is continuing to grow, so I expect that May will be another record month. Now, finally, I do need to cap off the monthly report, of course, with the participants. The Niche Site Project 4 goes well beyond just me, but you might be involved, the listener, and certainly lots of other readers and participants are involved building out their own websites, building a niche site from scratch, and they are reporting monthly on their progress and their earnings as well. So I love seeing all the people reporting. You're going to have to go over to nichepursuits.com, go to my most recent monthly report there to be able to see all of the responses, but it is pretty cool. I'm starting to see a few people, 2 or 3 people breaking $1,000 in earnings during April. So everybody is doing some good things. People are starting to see results. These are people that started building a site around the same time I did back in August or September of 2018. And that hard work is starting to pay off. Overall, I'm super excited with the results and the earnings for April 2019. May is looking like it's going to be another record month. Hopefully you're finding some value as you follow along with Niche Site Project 4 and as you build out your own site. Thank you very much for listening.